Okay, my name is Frank Kofi. We are programming with C++. So our next topic is expressions and statements. So now our objective is to learn statements, the types of statements, expressions and their types. So now when you talk about expressions, it's a combination of variables, operands, and operators. When you talk about operands, they are the entities that operators act on. Operators are mathematical symbols used for specific operation. So they are the manuals, addition, subtraction, division. Yeah, that's operators. And the operands are the integers. They can be integers or floating point numbers. Yeah, so expression may consist of one or more operands. Let's say, for example, I'm having 3 plus 3. So the 3 and the 3 are the operands. So one or more operands. Then may consist of 0 or more operators. Let's say 2 plus 3 minus 4. So the operators are plus and minus. Yes. So for example is A plus B. Yes, this is an example. Yes, this is what I was talking about. The A plus B. The A and B are the operands. Then the plus is operator. So now types of expression. We have constant expression, integral expressions, bitwise expression, floating expression, pointer expression, logical expression, relational expression. We will explain further as time move on. So now we are on the types of expression. So if all operands are integers, so if all A then B are integers, so you say that the expression is called an integral expression. So if A and B are, let's say, integer like 2, then B is 3. So this expression is called an integral expression. So if all operands are floating points, then the expression is called floating point expression. So if all operands are, let's say, A is 2.3, B is 2 points, or let's say 5.9. You see that they are all in floating point number. So their expression is floating point expression. Yes. So an integral expression yields an integral result. So if you had values of maybe 2 plus 3, you get 5. So that's an integral answer. That's an integer answer. Yes, integral result. Then floating point yields floating point result. So if you add 2 plus, let's say 2.3 plus 3.9, you get this point something. Yes, that's the floating point expression yields a floating point result. So now mixed expressions. Mixed expression has operands of different data types. So what it means is that, let's say A is 3, an integer, then B is floating point, so it contains an integer then floating point numbers here. So A for example will be 3, then B like this maybe 2 point something, yes, or let's say 2.5. This a mixed expression. Now it contains integers and floating points, as I said earlier. So here are some examples here. Yeah. So conditional expressions. So expressions where the value produced depends on the value of the condition. So we have relational expression. Relational expression yields result of type bool, which takes a value true or false. So relational expression yields result of the type boolean, like data type, and that two logical values, that's true or false. Yes, an example is this. If okay, let's say x is less than or equal to y, x plus y is greater than 2. So this is an example of relational expression. Logical expression. They combine two or more relational expressions to produce bool type results. So let's say x is greater than y and x is equal to 10. the two sign in this is end. Yes, so x is greater than y, then x is equal to 10. Then the two parallel line is or, so x is equal to 10, then or y is equal to 5. Yes, the equal to 2 means is equal to. Yes, that's the meaning in programming. So now let's go to pointer expression. So now pointer expression produce address values. So this is an example. The in this the sign there x is reference. Yes, and the ptr is the abbreviation for pointer. Then the ptr abbreviation for pointer decrement. Yes, that's it. So ending an expression. So ending an expression tells the system that you are done with your expression, like instruction. So you end it with semicolon. Yes. So semicolon is used to mark or show the end of an expression. In programming language, we use semicolon to end an expression. So ending an expression, something like this, int age, that's integer of age. The assignment operator is equal to 12. So you've ended it with a semicolon. So you've ended the expression. This is an example. Comments. So comments are used to make reading and understanding programs much more pleasant. Yes. Then the comments are helpful in escaping the execution of some parts of the code. So anything after the comments, let's say the comment sign, will not be executed. Yes. So comments are used for easy debugging. So we have two types of comments: single line comment, then multi-line comment. So the single line comment, it applies comment to a single line only. Then the compiler ignores any text after this sign forward slash, yeah, after double forward slash, and it will not be executed. Yes, it uses double forward slash. Yes, as I said earlier. So this is an example. So the double forward slash, double forward slash, then you see that single line comment. Yes, that's a comment for single line comment. Then we have multi-line comment. Multi-line comment occupies many lines. So you start with like this sign forward slash and the multiplication, and ends with the multiplication and forward slash. So the compiler ignores any text between them, between the two of them. So for example is this, you see. So the compiler will ignore the multiple line comments, which will ignore by the compiler. So the compiler will ignore this indentation. It makes code readability and understanding much more pleasant. So each nested block should be properly indented and spaced with a tab space. So all braces should start from a new line. Then the code comes following the end braces from a new line. So you go to our practical session and do the indentation for the. So now we are on our practical session. So now let's start with our program. So first of all, you need a preprocessor. So to start with, hash symbol. So hash include, then your IO stream, input to output stream, that's the meaning. Then you close. Then using namespace std. Then bring your semicolon to end that expression, or let's say to end that statement. So your function, so int main, then bring your parenthesis, then you open curly braces, So we said indentation is the curly braces will be on the new line. So now instead of the curly braces here, we bring it to the new line. So this is indentation. Yes. Let's bring our return value to return 0. So now we've learned about operands, operators, and variables. So let's say we have an operand a plus b. Let's say int a equals 5 a4, sorry. Then int integer b equals, let's see, 10. So now we want to output, see out, you bring your insertion operator. So we want to output a plus b. So then you terminate. Don't forget your termination sign. So something like this. This an integral expression. It has like integer. Both operands are integer. Yes. So you see that a is an integer, b is 10 is an integer. So when you output, you get an integral result. Yes, that's an integer result. So let's output. So 14 is an integer. So we are correct. So now let's move to the floating point expression. So that one we have decimals. So let's say 10.56, 4.5. Since it's like decimals, you use float, you can use double. So let's use float. Float, yeah. Let's output. See, you see. So this is a floating point expression. It yields a floating point result. So that's decimal points, like decimal answer. Yeah. So let's move back to our slide. So we are back to we are on statement. So a statement is a single instruction that performs an action. So statements are the building blocks of a C++ program. So we have types of statements. Selection statements. So they are used for decision making. So the example is the if switch. Then iterative statements. They are used to express iteration of tasks. The example is the for, while, then do while. We have expression statement. They are used to evaluate expression. So as I said earlier, expression is a combination of variables, operands, then operators. So we have types of statements. Yes, yes. That we also have declaration statement, jam statement. Yes, we also have compound statements. So here are examples. So selection statement. So used for decision making. That's if a condition is statement. Yeah. So for example, this is a syntax with expression, then a statement. So if age is greater than 18, output this an if statement. Yes. Thank you for listening. We are about to end. Thank you.